Organize Me Radio, Episode 11, Organizing Your Kitchen. I'm Naeemah Ford Goldson. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Organize Me Radio. I am Naeemah Ford Goldson, and today we are going to talk mostly about kitchen organizing. My guest today is Kenika Williams, who is the owner of Tidied by K. Welcome, Kenika.
Hello, everyone.
I want you to tell everyone about yourself. How did you get started in the organizing business?
Yeah, so I'm Kenika. I am a former educator. I taught first grade in Tulsa, Oklahoma for 2 years. After I did that, I moved into corporate America, where I was there for about 4, doing all things like finance and data. And I just didn't like, I didn't like it. My mom, around the time that the Marie Kondo Netflix thing came out, she's like, you should watch this show. And so I watched the show, and as I was watching it, I'm just like, I could do this. This is something that, is like natural to me. And so I think I binge watched it, and literally like the following weekend, I was just like, I'm going to start a business. And so I started my home organizing business literally off of the strength of me not really wanting to like work for someone else for forever. And then seeing that this, professional organizing was an actual industry and people were doing it. And they are fulfilling their passions. And so I just kind of went forward and started my own business as well.
I think it's amazing that you watched a show and it motivated you to become a professional organizer, because I too watched a show. However, it was back in, 2010 or something like that. But it was a show called The Amandas. I don't know if you're familiar with that show, but that was back when Style Network was still a thing. And there was a show called The Amandas, where it was a woman who owned a professional organizing business, and she would go in and organize people. And I was like, wait a minute, you can do that as a job? So I definitely relate with you on that front on, you don't realize most of us have been doing this, pretty much our whole lives, like not realizing it. And then it's like, oh, you can make money doing that. So,
It's a thing. Yeah.
right. So I completely get you on that front. So what is your specialty?
I love organizing kitchens and pantries. I've done literally all the spaces in the home, and those are the spaces that like I just gravitate to, and I just absolutely love organizing them. So I would say that's my specialty area.
How did you decide that that was your specialty? Is it just because you did it more often, or is it because maybe there are more products that you like? Is it easier to set up a kitchen? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think honestly, the kitchen is the most frequently used spaces in homes. And so when I go into clients' homes, those are generally like hot spots for people. Like they just really can't seem to get the kitchen space, their pantry space together. And so I've done a handful of, every space in the home. And those are the spaces I feel like that really just bring in that transformative progress or result that people really just gravitate to. And it's usually like they're really, really excited to see like their kitchen counters or like everything is labeled properly in their pantry. And so I think that just knowing that the end result is just going to result in something so much more efficient for them and, a time saver for them, that I think that is what really makes me gravitate to the kitchen and your pantry space.
So for someone who is trying to get their kitchen or pantry organized, what top 3 tips would you give them?
Yeah, definitely declutter. It's going to be true for honestly any space that you're organizing, but most definitely you want to make sure you're pulling everything out and really doing a good inventory of what's currently there. And so if there's room for you to declutter, purge, get rid of things, most definitely start there first. In terms of your actual kitchen space or your kitchen space, I also say like to try to clear off your countertops, right? Like a lot of times people can't really navigate that well in their kitchen because they just have things scattered all over the place. So if everything can be very intentional about what you're leaving on your countertops, I think that's also going to be helpful and most beneficial. And then also making your kitchen work for you, right? So if you can, zone your kitchen in a way that, if you come in and you have like a mail center in your kitchen, or you're always putting your mail there, that's fine if that's like a frequently used, space, but make sure that it's zoned properly and that it's very intentional, the way that you want to use your kitchen.
Okay, so to recap, declutter, clear
Yep.
the countertops,
Yep.
and then the last thing is to zone everything.
Yep.
Now, for a person who is overwhelmed by the decluttering process, which we know a lot of our clients are, which is why they call us, right? How do you tell them where to start? How do you walk them through it?
Yeah, so I have a Power of 30 guide, which is my initiative that I'm always telling people or recommending people that you just start with 30 minutes. Start in a space that is not overly daunting. So you're not going to pick your attic or your basement or your garage to start decluttering. You're going to pick a space that's small enough for you to get a quick win. And then you're only going to designate 30 minutes to actually, look at things, pull things out, declutter, and purge that way. And that way, so you only have to do this project or do this task for 30 minutes to kind of help you build up that endurance, that momentum of actually getting through a small space that you need to declutter.
So do you have any top products that you like to use in a kitchen or in a pantry that helps your clients or helps yourself?
Yeah, I love Lazy Susans, a turntable, round table, whatever you want to call them. Though I think they're just, a genius invention. I wish I had come up with it myself. But yeah, Lazy Susans are always going to be helpful. Any type of bin basket that you can kind of put in your pantry to help you contain things is always going to be beneficial as well. You can, figure out the style that you like, or, the style that fits in your space, and work with that. Another option that I just really love are can dispensers. A lot of canned food, or if you have drinks, kind of put those in your pantry or other places in your kitchen as well, to kind of just keep everything corralled in one area without, things being scattered on, different shelves and things like that in your home or in your pantry or kitchen.
Okay, I hope everyone is listening because these are some great tips. So on your Instagram, you have videos of you folding, and I think you have this very unique way of folding. Can you tell us about how you fold? Where did you learn to fold in the way that you do?
I feel like I'm probably one of the weirder people on this earth that's like, how can I come up with another way to fold? So sometimes I am just kind of playing around with stuff and then just trying to see if it will actually stick. I think the one thing that I do know to be true is when I'm always practicing or trying to come up with another way to fold, I'm always shooting for some type of rectangle. And so once you can get some type of rectangle in a fold, that's always going to be helpful, because then you can then just, fold it in thirds or something like that. Marie Kondo's fold, the Marie Kondo, I fold I file fold everything as well. Just to kind of fit many things in like a drawer as much as possible.
Now, I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of Marie Kondo. I file fold as well. However, I started file folding before Marie Kondo made it popular. And so the way I fold is like, if you, I don't know if you've ever worked retail, but when you work retail, you fold a certain way. And so I fold it that way, and then I fold it over again to make it smaller, so then I can stack it, but so you can see what's on the shirt.
Right.
So that's the way I fold. So I just have to confess, because I know tons of people love Marie Kondo, and
you gotta spill the beans. What is it about it that you're just like, nope?
No, I think she's cool, but I can't help but think it's kind of gimmicky, I mean, clearly smart businesswoman, right? Clearly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not on the Marie Kondo bandwagon. If anyone's a Marie Kondo fan, please forgive me. To each their own. I'm just not one of those people.
No, I think so. I'm still new to like this whole idea of like professional organizing, right? Like it just being a thing. And so my exposure to it was the Marie Kondo. And then I started researching and realized like, oh, this has been a while or been around for a while and it's a thing. And there are thousands of organizers doing the same thing. I think she was just the big one that was like, okay, cool. It's a
Right.
thing. She's doing it. And so then, the branding of the Marie Kondo fold, I think just got really popular. And so that's why I think I naturally just say, oh, I file fold like Marie Kondo. But no, I definitely get you on that.
Okay. So Marie Kondo aside, what
Yes.
what tips would you give someone who is trying to get organized? Just general home organizing tips, maybe 2 or 3 tips.
Yeah, I think the first thing is to really make a decision that you are going to, organize, but really internalizing that to truly get organized in your home, you are going to part ways with some things. I think people just sometimes think, oh, I want to get organized and I just want to organize what's here. So you have to like backtrack a little bit and really understand like you're going to be decluttering, letting go of things that are taking up, physical and mental space. And then once you have what you truly love, what you truly want to keep and display, then you work to organize that first. So I think like that decision making of, I am dedicating to this journey, and a part of the journey is decluttering. I think that's the first tip or the first thing to really be cognizant of. And then secondly, a lot of people are like, especially if they live with other people, they're like, oh, I can't get so-and-so on board. So my push is always to like focus on you first, right? Like you can't worry about like your kids or your spouse or roommates. You have to really focus on you doing the work first and then leading by example to kind of get everyone else on board. And the third thing I would say is to start small. A lot of times you see people starting with like the most daunting spaces in their home, the most daunting projects.
Oh yeah.
That obviously is not going to be the most advantageous because you haven't built up that mental endurance and that clarity yet throughout the process to really start with those big projects. So my recommendation there is to always start small first and then work your way up.
So, in addition to organizing, you've taken on a role of coaching other professional organizers. How did you decide to embark on that journey?
Well, like I said, I'm a former educator, so I did teach, and then I also did a lot of adult facilitation in my finance and data roles. And so I just have a really cool acumen to just teaching and educating people enough so that they can actually, internalize that, but then also execute and implement my teachings. And so my passion is educating. My passion is entrepreneurship, and I love my organizing business and the fact that I was able to build it up, from the ground up and it be successful. And so I realized also that, a lot of organizers weren't having that same amount of success in their business. And so I wanted to kind of fuse my passions and my skill set to teach other people to do the same thing. And so that's what, pushed me into business coaching for professional organizers.
So, what steps do you take to help other pro organizers?
A lot. So I really want to focus on business strategy for, just building a foundational business. And so, we're going to talk about like the foundational things of, branding or, creating a clear marketing strategy for your business, or then, teaching people how to actually serve and sell, right? Because I think a lot of times people are so, set on, I'm just going to build a website, I'm going to put it out there, and then the leads are going to come flying in, and I'm just going to be booked. And then when they get their website, nothing happens. And so really teaching people how to like show up and sell your offer. So those are just some of like the things that me and my one-on-one clients are working on so that they can actually convert those leads to paying clients.
So, did anyone guide you along the way to entrepreneurship?
Yes. So I've had a lot of mentors. And so I'm just kind of picking their brains on, okay, what do I do next? How do I sell this? How do I pitch myself? What are some of the foundational things that I need to know? So yes, that. And then also I've invested in my business, whether it be, courses or actual one-on-one business coaches, just to really help me move the needle in my business, or, when I felt like I was hitting a plateau. having an extra pair of eyes on my business to say, okay, here are the gaps, you need to fill them in here. So I definitely did not build my business by myself, to say the least. I've definitely had a lot of, people, instilling knowledge into me so that I could, propel my business.
And I think that's also important for people to know is that, being an entrepreneur, you have to reach out to others. You have to seek guidance from people who have done it before, who have been there, who know what it's like to, market a business, who knows what it's like to, to fail and to get back up, because with being an entrepreneur, it's so many highs and lows, and that's how it's always going to be.
Right.
So I definitely think you also coaching other organizers is great and wonderful. And I hope that part of your business is so successful. And I'm pretty sure you'll help so many organizers along the way.
Yes, most definitely. That's the plan.
So tell everyone how they can find out more information about you.
Yeah, so for home organizing, my website is Tidied by K. I'm also Tidied by K on Instagram and all the other social media networks. In terms of business coaching, you can find me on Instagram at Kenika and Company. And that is where I do all of my, one-on-one business coaching, hot seat coaching, all that good stuff, just to kind of help people move the needle in their organizing business.
All right, Kenika. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here and chat with everyone and give tips. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Organize Me Radio. Tune in next time for an all-new episode. Thank you so much for joining me today, and make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. And remember, get organized, go further. You're listening to Organize Me Radio. I am Naeemah Ford Goldson.